welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look again at a team that's got generated for the Fantasy Cup from ChatGPT. And again, we were able to put in every single data that ChatGPT needs to actually analyze the meta here today. And we're going to have a very, meta team maybe, but also a very unique team that I did not expect to be as good as it actually was. But look at this here. This is the optimal Fantasy Cup team from ChatGPT. We're going to have the Azumarill, very meta. We're going to have the Registeel, something that I actually did not really see too much as well. I did actually some battles beforehand. That's the thing that you don't really see. Like I saw some comments about like, oh, why do you say this team is amazing and like how do you not climb up that much beforehand? It is that you don't see every single team that I play on YouTube. There have been teams that I don't showcase because they don't work out. And that's why I usually showcase either teams that are like a theme or something like here, ChatGPT and stuff like this, where it doesn't really matter what kind of result it is. We just want to see on how things are going to be happening. For this team, by the way, the result was an 11-2. So sorry if I say that this team is amazing. This team is amazing. I think it's 11-2. It's either 10-3 or 11-2 with this team. We're gonna see every single battle here today anyway, so like there is nothing that is cut out. So like you're gonna see on how strong this team gonna be. We're gonna talk about on how to run this team as well here. But like this was absolutely amazing. And again, for every single title that I have for the video, I stand by it. There's not a single title that I ever had for a video where I say, okay, that's clickbait or anything. This is just what is happening in the video. So yeah, just towards the one comment there, I see it sometimes because I mainly showcase teams that actually work for me. I'm not showcasing the teams that don't work. And I tried to get Shadow Mawile to work beforehand with Firefang, and I got completely wrecked. And this is something that I'm open about, and that happened. And here we're gonna climb up all our points and even more. And as you're gonna see there as well, first battle we win without using a shield. I'm actually quite curious on how many points we really climbed with this team. It was definitely more than 100 as far as I know. I had a 5-0 with this team, I had a 4-1 with this team, and I had basically taken over, I think, a set midway through, I think, where I went 0-2 before still with the Mawile team, which I used for 2 sets, which went really, really bad. Again, you're not going to see the gameplay because the team was just horrendous. Which is fine, but I was able to get also in that set, in the last 3 battles of that set, I think a 2-1 with this team. So total it should be 11-2 with this team here, which is ridiculous. Like literally, like what a strong team it is. And yeah, I know people are going to complain about Giratina. I fully understand this. Like this Pokemon is very difficult to get. I've made sure I said it in the beginning as well before you watch the video actually. Dragapult. It is literally the maybe even better Pokemon? I don't know, depends. I actually saw some Dragapults against me, which was the Pokemon that gave me the biggest troubles with this team. But yeah, basically Dragapult is the easiest substitute for Giratina. And then you don't have to have the conversation again about, oh, Giratina is so inaccessible and like I will never get this Pokemon for the Open Great League. Dragapult is basically the same, can be even better because of Breaking Swipe. I don't really count this as like some kind of argument against the team or against the current meta, because you have literally a Pokemon that has the exact same stats, does fast move pressure in ghost typing, has better charge moves to be fair, worse stats, definitely, a little bit worse stats, but literally does basically the same job. And it's kind of free and it's kind of accessible. So anyway, we're going to take a look here at the next opponent. We're going to see here one big issue. Actually, it's not really an issue. We're going to see the Shadow Excadrill. We see that we're going to be able to go for the full farm down here. Actually, we don't have to use anything. And then swap out into the Azumarill. I'm going to swap out now into my Registeel, trying to have a great matchup here. Like this is usually a very, very good matchup. And this is the main reason why Registeel was actually the MVP of this team, in my opinion. This Pokemon literally carried me as it was able to do a lot of damage against a lot of Pokemon, but also just generally speaking had a great time against the Azumarill. But there were a lot of Steel-type Pokemon that were supposedly countering the Registeel, but if you have a little bit of energy advantage, Focus Blast says goodbye to them. And so this team was amazing. Like this team was literally overpowered. Like I loved this team so much. So if you want to see want to have a good team for the current cup, for the current Fantasy Cup, this is definitely a team I would highly recommend you. Again, I went I think 11-2 with this one. Here we're going to see here in the back the Wigglytuff. Luckily we're able to keep our Registeel around, which was like a split decision there basically. I was not 100% sure if I wanted to do this play. I decided to do this play and it worked out really, really well for me, because now I still have the Registeel. The opponent is going to be out of shields. I can go into my Registeel here as well and I can catch the move onto my Giratina. This is going to be a Swift, it's going to be double resisted, which is going to be fine. And as you're gonna see here now as well, the opponent is going to have the Ice Wind coming through, nearly knocking us out, but they're now energy dry. I just have to basically go ahead and go for either the Zap Cannon. Oh, by the way, here if you see, yeah, there's a call coming in. I was able to go into the call afterwards as well. So yeah, that's why the top bit is a bit cut off. Next one, we're going to see here the Sandslash in the lead, and they have Powder Snow, which means we're going to have here a very solid matchup for ourselves, as the opponent has resisted fast move pressure, which is kind of something that's great for us, because now they're kind of forced to swap out eventually. They swap out into the Azumarill. And here's something that's going to happen quite often, that the opponent tries to catch a move onto the Azumarill. Totally fine. What we have to do is we have to get some energy here, because one Play Rough and one Zap Cannon is going to be basically enough to put them into lock-on down range afterwards. That's very important information here for you. If you go for one Play Rough and one Zap Cannon, Azumarill is going to be perfectly basically in range for the Registeel to fully farm it down. As you're going to see as well, we're going to go up to 100 energy just to have a little bit of energy for the Pokemon that maybe wants to come in next, which is going to be the Sandslash. In this case, the opponent is going to use a shield here on the Azumarill. There's going to be definitely some games still where you're going to see how much damage the Zap Cannon is going to do, and how the Play Rough plus Zap Cannon play literally is perfect for this Pokemon. The only thing that's a little bit annoying about this is you take quite a lot of time, which can allow the opponent to swap out quite early. But as you can see as well, we're going to be able to get rid of the Sandslash because we were able to keep the energy onto our Azumarill, which is really important. And yeah, they're going to go back into their own Azumarill. I have great answers in the bag, and I will keep the shield here because I feel like the shield is my biggest valuable thing here right now, because at the end of the day, I can align myself afterwards as well. And if they have a fight on the back, I'm going to be able to go into my Giratina. If they have anything else, we have our Registeel. We're in a great spot. That's kind of what I want to say with that. We see it's Play Rough and Ice Beam. And we're going to see a Flygon on the back here, which is going to be something that we can still deal with. We can go for a Shadow Ball. This is going to do a ton of damage. Not going to knock them out here by 1 HP, but even Registeel is going to be able to farm them down. And we can move on to the next opponent. So we're going to have a Sandslash on lead. This time around, we're going to have here one that is running the fast move of Shadow Claw. What we're going to try to do here is we're going to let the move go through. It is going to be the Drill Run coming through against us, and we're going to try our best here to go for a Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump is going to be able to hopefully connect against the opponent. It is going to not connect here. The opponent decides to use a shield, and this makes it a little bit more awkward, right? Not so much actually. It's still definitely playable. We will see the Drill Run coming through. We're going to try our best to go for a Play Rough. This Play Rough is important, so we might use a shield here. It either gets us a shield or gets the opponent low enough that we can farm them down. It was just the Ice Punch here, but of course the Wolf knocked us out definitely at this range. We will see the Play Rough coming through, putting them into farming range for Giratina. Now we have energy advantage here. In comes Dragapult, and here you see why I feel like Dragapult might be even a little bit better, as Tonish damage is ridiculous. We see it here already. Like, this is actually a matchup that we're gonna lose in the zero shields, like in the equal shield scenario, I guess, against Dragapult as well. It is madness on how strong this Pokemon is. And yeah, what am I gonna do now? I have my Registeel here. I can use a shield against the it's not a Shadow Ball, it's a Breaking Strike. When they're gonna get the attack drop as well, I was forced to catch the move here. Hopefully it's a Shadow Ball this time around. It is, so they waste a ton of energy. And now it depends on what they have in the back. It's an Azumarill. That's good game. As you're gonna see as well, this was the first set, and I was able to go 5-0 with this team. It's a very strong team. Azumarill in the mirror matchup here. How do you want to play this one is quite interesting as well. What you want to do is you want to go for one Play Rough. You definitely always want to go for one Play Rough here. This will allow you to put them into range for either the Zap Cannon or the Shadow Ball. And this is exactly what I kind of want to do here. What we want to do next basically is we want to kind of take 2 Play Roughs. It is a bit tricky, but we have to hope that the opponent goes for their Play Rough quite early, which in this case they don't do, and that's why I decided to go for my own Play Rough, because the opponent plays it perfectly in terms of keeping the most amount of energy at any point on their Azumarill. But no matter what, we kind of want to swap out of here, because they have to kind of keep our Azumarill alive. And so we swap out into the Giratina. We're gonna get some energy lead, which is gonna be great for us. We can use a shield against the super effective hit, but that energy lead can definitely help us out quite a bit. And as you can see as well, we're gonna get out the Duck Trio. Seeing that we still have our Registeel in the back, that is going to be perfect. The Ominous Wind is going to get shielded, and I don't know what survive a move here. I think I would survive it. I should let the move go through, but I didn't, and that I think was a mistake. I'm fairly certain I would have been able to win that one. But as you're going to see here, I can still go for another Ominous Wind. The opponent is going to now have to deal with our Azumarill. I tried to get them low enough, but I was not able to. They're going to get to another Mud Bomb, and we're going to have the full farm down here, and they're going to still survive that, and we get this one free fast move And this 1-3 fast move is literally what we needed to outspeed down the Excadrill and win the battle. Literally, this one fast move that we got there. If we didn't get this fast move in, I would have lost this battle like this. That's going to be a good game. It's a game over. And what a game that was. Like, honestly, that we won this battle here again is ridiculous. And we see as well, Registeel is such a strong Pokemon. Next one is going to be the Flygon against us. This is going to be very, very nice for us because we're going to be able to let the move go through here now. That's going to be a very favorable matchup for us, generally speaking. That's at least what you would expect, but as you're going to see here again, the opponent goes into the Azumarill. And this happened quite often. I had this team quite often against me, a very strong team. But again, we're going to go up to another play rough. We're going to swap out now into our Registeel, which can usually take all the hits. I rarely see a Say Swap Azumarill with Hydro Pump. Like, definitely, I see way more Ice Beam Play Rough variant of it. And so, we're going to be able to just take the hit here. It is going to be another Play Rough coming through. Nobody cares. And we can go up to 100 energy, go for the Zap Cannon. Afterwards, the opponent can swap out. This is like the issue for this kind of team. They can swap out, but you saw already it would have been perfectly into farmland range for us. We can still get to the Focus Blast, though. And this is going to be super important because what we can do next is we can swap out into the Azumarill, we can go for a Play Rough, and we can basically get rid of both of the opponent's shields. And this is going to be very, very good. But at this point, I kind of need to rely on my fast move pressure. I know that they're going to go for a hard-hitting move here, but I feel like my fast move pressure here with Giratina is the way to go. I'm forced to use a shield here, of course, because they have access to the move Dragon Claw, but I hope that I can go for the full farm down in time. I cannot, and so my Evo shields are going to be gone now as well. They kind of return the favor here. I'm going to swap out into my Registeel, try to go for the full farm down and make a big mistake with that. I was a bit too scared of the Azumarill. I should have just stayed in here, and as you will see as well, the opponent is going to have, again, their Flygon. I thought I would win CMP tie, I do not. And I completely misplayed this battle. If I just stayed in there, I feel like I would have won the battle if I just stayed. But I didn't, and this is going to be very difficult because we would have never been in such a bad spot. And they had in the back the Weezing, and I feel like this was winnable if I just played it a bit better. And this was one of the losses. Again, like, this team has play against everything. And again, it is generated from an AI, and it is a very strong team to the point where if this video hits, let's see, maybe 350 likes, maybe we're going to take a look at the same kind of stuff here for the Ultra League after the change. I feel like this would be very interesting what ChatGPT kind of gets for a team as well with it. As you will see as well, we have the Registeel coming in. We're going to be able to take a hit here from the Azumarill. Ice Beam is coming through, and we're going to be able to now try our best to get to that Zap Cannon again. And as I said before, Zap Cannon is perfect here in order to put the opponent into a range where we're going to be able to get them not knocked out yet, but get them into farm down range for our lock-on Registeel. And all of them are swapping out basically immediately. Here they swap onto the Flygon again. I can use a shield. Hopefully it is not Dragon Claw. It is Scorching Sands, so at least I was able to shield up the harder hitting move that would have knocked us out, and it takes way more energy than a Dragon Claw. And that's perfect because again, we're going to be able to get the shields gone from the opponent. We have another shield coming up here, and we're gonna see them going for another. They have to go for the big hit here. They have to go for the Scorching Sands, otherwise we're gonna survive this one. Scorching Sands is coming through. We're gonna try our best here with our Giratina. We can use a shield again, but again, we're gonna overfarm here a bit on our energy, which can be very nice for us in the back. We're going to have the Weezing here coming in. We have to be very careful. Weezing currently runs the moveset of Fairy Wind, the Sludge, as well as the, what's called the Play Rough usually? No, usually Overheat, I think. Overheat is going to be good against Pokemon like Registeel, but also means that they're going to be double debuffed now. So the Brutal Swing, is it Brutal Swing? It's Sludge. Sludge is not going to do any damage. So, yeah, we're going to be in a great spot here. We're going to be able to go for the full farm down, and this is going to be a game over. The opponent decides to forfeit here. Empoleon is a very tough matchup, and yeah, we're going to see the Dragapult coming back in here, and as we will see again, this is going to be basically impossible to win as a Giratina, and that is madness. Like, we have Shadow Claw, but Shadow Claw is not the best fast move anymore. I feel like Astonish and Mudslap are really sneaking up to it. But as you will see here as well, the opponent is going to be able to go for another hit. It's going to be another Shadow Ball, and we will try our best here, but the opponent is even going to be able to go for another one. And I kind of forced to no-shield this one, which is really awkward because as you will see as well, it's all down now to the Registeel. And this is actually like manageable. Like, this is not game over yet. I can use a shield against the opponent here, What we will see as well is if I get a Zepcan debuff, this game is going to be super good for us because we would be able to, survive the Shadow Balls a bit easier. But even without, I think I have a very solid chance of still winning this battle just because I can farm them down after this charge move from the opponent. And they go for the bait, and they got actually the boost here. Otherwise, I'm fairly certain I had a good chance of winning the battle still, and this was the second loss I had with this team so far. So now we have to see if it was actually an 11-2 or an 10-3. But yeah, we also here as well, the opponent is going to have the Weezing. This is going to be a Pokemon that does not really enjoy to get hit by the Hydro Pump, I would say. But also, Sludge and Overheat don't really do too much damage against our Dragon type Pokemon. And in comes the Lucario, which we're going to be able to take care of as well with our Giratina. And so we have again a very solid matchup for us. We have a shield advantage, which we're going to lose here now because I decided to use a shield against a potential like Thunder Punch or whatever. It was a Blaze Kick now. I am going to be able to go for another charge move here, but now I get either the knockout or get the next shield, and we're going to be having a shield down opponent here, which is going to be great because we can let them. Oh, we're actually going to use a shield here. Didn't really think I would do that, but it doesn't matter because Ferrothorn is going to get hardwalled by the Registeel. Dragapult is going to be next in the lead, and again, this matchup is actually not that great for us, especially if you don't have Ice Beam. Our pacing is very slow, which means like the opponent is going to have a great time here with their Dragapult. We see the shield coming up now from the opponent. We're going to try our best here to do as much as we can, but it's going to look a bit dire for us. Shadow Ball is going to now connect here against us, going to get the shield. We should be able to survive this one with like a 1 HP and a Dream. Let's see. It is going to connect and we're going to still be able to survive. So we're going to get the final shield here or the KO. Let's see. We're going to be able to get the final shield, which is less ideal for us. KO would have been way better for us. But now we have to hope that Giratina with energy up is going to be able to sweep the opponent. Let's see, hopefully there's not a normal type Pokemon in the back. We will have a ton of energy now here. We have a Shadow Ball stored. It's going to be the Sand Slash. And what we will see as well is I'm going to try to catch the Ice Punch. I was expecting the opponent to go straight for the Ice Punch because they didn't want me to go ahead and go for a Shadow Ball. And they swap onto the Excadrill and we saw that we got one free fast move in. And again, the free fast move allows us to get to that Focus Blast. It is so important, and even though it's just one fast move, this is the one thing that really helps us out here because we're even going to be able to get the KO against the opponent here as they decide to overfarm by a little bit too much, and we can move on to the next one. Second to last battle, again, a little bit of a longer video, that's what I want to say here today. A longer video with 21 minutes of battling with an AI team that is way too strong. And again, this is most likely going to be a consistent series on this channel as well, because the teams are usually great. Yes, they're going to be a bit meta, because guess what? I'm asking for the biggest meta team. But again, if you want me to ask ChatGPT something different, let me know down below in the comment section, then I will most likely consider that as well, maybe make some videos towards this as well, and put even your name on the screen for when we do that. So feel free to give me some suggestions basically towards what I could ask ChatGPT for a team. But yeah, with being able to basically put in all the data for the cup as well as for the moves on them in the stats, that basically allowed us to definitely get a very solid team here, which is really cool. Like it's mad that ChatGPT is able to really generate a team for specific meta now, thanks to us giving the program itself some data to analyze. So yeah, it's definitely very interesting. As you can see as well, very interesting is that the Registeel is going to be able to take an Ice Punch here. They're going to be in farm down range anyway, and they're going to have in the back the Excadrill. Again, we're going to be able to outspeed them here, but this is going to be a bit of a trickier one as it looks like. We have the Focus Blast coming through, getting the shield. We try our best to get to another one here as well, but it is going to be a bit of a tricky one. Let's see, it is going to be the Drill Run coming in. We're going to be able to go for the Hydro Pump. This is going to knock them out if they're going to let the move go through. Do they even have a shield left? They did not, and so here we have the Azumarill against Azumarill situation. We can go for a Play Rough, and we have to hope that basically we're going to be able to get them into a range where we can win this with just the Giratina, and we can chunk away from the opponent's health, even though it is just the resisted bubble. It's going to be a Play Rough coming through, and with this we can go for the full farm down here and win this battle. Final battle for today's video here. Hopefully, if you enjoyed this video, then I would really appreciate if you could leave a like on this one, because yeah, again, it just helps out the channel, especially in the tough times right now for Pokemon Go. Like, going to be better times again as well, like for the people, like I know that a lot of people are feeling a little bit burnt out right now, which I totally understand as well. Stuff like this is going to be a little bit better in the future as well for Pokemon Go again, because they kind of have to. Like, at this point, they're literally kind of ruining the game, which is kind of sad for it. But like, again, I would assume that they're gonna kind of turn things around eventually. So I am not too worried about this stuff yet, but I still enjoy PvP as well. I have to say, like, stuff like this I really enjoy. I just enjoy when we play something funny, something that is a meme, something that ChatGPT, for example, here did as well. And it just works out. Like, I love this. I love this stuff. I still love doing videos. There's nothing like changed from this one. Of course, I do understand that people are a little bit more burnt out towards PvP right now. I fully understand this. Take a break. Take as long as you need. But if the game works, the game is a lot of fun for me. The issue is just that the events currently weren't really good, that there are still some frame drops, which in my opinion got a bit better for myself, but could be also because less people are playing. The servers are a little bit less, yeah, I don't know, like, so less people are on it, so maybe they're a bit better. But again, I do understand, of course, when people need to take breaks, and it's definitely a little bit of an awkward situation for any kind of YouTuber for Pokemon Go. What I would recommend here to anyone that you watch on YouTube for Pokemon Go, leave them some likes, give them some love as well in the comment section. That's the best thing I can do right now. Like, well, the game is still fun for me. I do understand that a lot of people are a little bit worried right now as well about it. I think it's gonna turn around eventually, just like we hopefully gonna turn around this battle here. As the Ice Beam is coming through, we still have our Registeel. Can we knock them out with one big focus blast here? Let's find out. It is going to be just enough. And yes, it was an 11-2 run with this ChatGPT team here again, as you can see as well. Claimed the 5-0 a little bit earlier, claimed the 4-1 here, and I end up at 2,333 MMR with this team. That's going to be it, and I will see you then. Bye bye.